Hey, I'm a 4 dude. I'm going to talk about this Seaside 2D area and how to do it really fast, at least for a darker side. Just trying to collect the 3 moons and get out of here. So, uh, there's a couple of general principles and ideas. One of them, don't take damage. Damage loses a lot because it loses like close to a second just from the damage animation, and then almost 2 more seconds when you collect a moon. So avoid damage at all costs. Another thing is the platform cycle. These orange moving platforms that you can see up here. This one is actually the only one that is irrelevant. The one that's up here by the notes and the one that's over here off screen are the actually important ones that we care about. That platform cycle starts when you first look towards this area from the glass palace. And you'll see how I move my camera. I turn it over here a little bit after grabbing the bunny moon. As long as you're getting into this pipe quickly, it should not really be an issue. You should be getting a platform cycle similar to what I'm getting in all of these clips. On the other hand, the Koopas spawn in and like reset how they're walking and whatnot every time you enter a pipe. So this Koopa will always be on the same cycle when you enter this pipe. When you enter the pipe up here, the Koopa up there will always be on the same cycle, regardless of how slowly you did the earlier part. Meanwhile, when you're swimming from this pipe to the one on the top right, the orange platforms will be moving. So however the orange platform is over here will dictate what this one ends up being at for the notes. So you should eventually get a feel for what the platform cycles mean and stuff. Also, this video is going to be really long. It's pretty unscripted, but I have a lot of clips here to show, and I'm going to go really in depth. There's a lot of almost improv that's going on, but at this point I've done these kinds of improvs so many times that they're just second nature situations to me. And but yeah, there's going to be a lot of technical yapping here to be really fast. But that's about it for my general principles. Anyway, let's start watching some of these clips. So the first thing I do is get this Koopa, and I try and jump as soon as possible with a small jump so I can land on him as soon as possible. There's also a strat where you run right up to the Koopa and jump, and Mario like jumps and hits him immediately on the way up. That's a little bit faster than this, but if you jump a little too late, you take damage, and if you jump a little too early, then you're slower than what this is. So I just jump as soon as possible with a small jump, land on him and kick him to the left. Then when I'm running off of this edge, I jump when Mario's about here, just a light jump, and then I start holding right. It just lets me get in here really quickly as soon as the shell's out of the way. If you just fall down, you'll probably land on the shell before it even hits the brick block. So that's why I do that little jump there. It times everything really nicely. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this beginning section anymore for the rest of the video. Getting out of here, there is a... when you crouch and you are spamming jumps to get out, you can time a jump right when Mario's at the end so that Mario doesn't jump up here. Instead, he can just start running to the left immediately. That is technically faster, but in my opinion, it's hard to time. And because you're on a platform cycle here, you want to be consistent every time. So I just commit to it. I keep holding Z and shaking and holding left. And as soon as Mario pops out, that's when, if you're just holding left, you'll bonk into this block and lose all your speed. So I pull back and then start holding forward again to get as much running speed as possible. Then when I'm almost to the edge here, I do a crouch jump, a full jump. but I crouch. You can make this without crouching, but it's pretty tight. You have to get over this pipe and not bonk your head on this wall over here. And a crouch jump just helps you do that easier. I think for the full jump you have to jump a little bit earlier than I do. But crouching just gives you a wider amount of time to jump. Also, you want to crouch and jump immediately. Like when you crouch, Mario immediately begins losing speed really quickly, so you want to jump as soon as you crouch. But if all goes well, you'll snake through this little gap with all of your speed. You'll either land on this Koopa or land on the ground. If you land on the Koopa, you can bounce by holding A. Sometimes you'll land on this platform, like in this case, and it'll be pretty easy to get up to the invisible blocks. Sometimes you won't land on the platform, you'll fall down here, which is also fine. Just do a jump and then get these blocks. You only really need one out of any of the 3 blocks, but I really don't recommend if you only get the leftmost block or only get the rightmost block. You probably shouldn't do that. You should definitely try and hit these 2. These are the preferred ones I like to hit. This one on the left is really never needed. If you only get the one on the right, it is possible to make it, but it's really risky. And you're better off just, even if it means waiting another platform cycle, taking another jump to hit this middle block. But this is a pretty kind platform cycle. This is the easiest case for sure. But actually, best case, I want this platform moving left away from the pipe, because that means the platform in the next section will be a little bit better. Okay, now we're going to continue with this attempt. So come over here. Oh, I should mention this. I do 3 fish boosts, but I delay the 3rd one. And all this means is that then the fish will still have speed when I'm over this pipe. And then when I press Y and Z, so I press Y to swim down and then Z to go in the pipe, it'll kill the fish and go into the pipe immediately like this. You can also, instead of having the fish like on top of the pipe, you can swim the fish to right in front of the pipe, and then just uncapture and do a ground pound with Mario, giving you a pipe suck into the pipe. I think either these 2 methods are about the same speed, because in this one you get into the pipe sooner, but you don't get like sucking into the pipe. Anyway, music notes. So the movement I do here is very particular, and it also depends on the platform cycle. So let's rewind a little bit. First thing I do is move to the right when I exit this pipe, and this ends up being important. One of the things it makes easier is that it lets this Koopa walk a little further, so that then when I jump through and get this treble clef, he'll be right at the edge. It also means I get a little more distance to build up full running speed. But those 2 reasons are not actually the reason I do it. The reason I do it has to do with kicking the shell. So when you kick this shell here, the shell goes off screen. And it actually doesn't come back until you get it back on screen. So you see, like, all the shell has to do is travel this distance and come back. But actually, there's a lot longer of a time between when that happens. That's because the shell is going off screen. If you just run directly left out of this pipe and jump through the music note, then because the camera pans out when you enter the pipe, it never has a chance to pan back in before you hit the music note. And that means that, so you can see here that the camera just barely begins to center on Mario right before I touch the music note. It's almost, you can almost not see it, but the game is like starting to zoom in on Mario again, like a normal camera does, right before I grab the music note. But when you grab the music note, the camera will zoom out again and show all of this stuff. But because I ended up running to the right, now the camera is zoomed in a lot more on Mario. Whereas if you just run straight left out of the pipe, the camera will stay zoomed out for a little bit. And that means the shell will bounce across and end up being in your way. This way, it looks like it's going to hit me, but actually this is pretty normal. and you just avoid it. If it came any earlier than that, you would get hit by it. If not, on the way down, it would bounce on this wall and hit you when you're doing this. Okay, enough. I'm not going to yap about that anymore. Just run to the right when you exit this pipe. Anyway, you have to kick the shell to the right. It's going to collect these 3 notes and not this 4th upper note. Unless, of course, the platform is all the way over here, but it really shouldn't be. And if the platform is going to be over here, you'll have to collect these notes on your own. But we're not going to worry about that. So as we see, now the shell is collecting all of these notes down here, so I'm not even worried about collecting any of them. I end up running through some of them, whatever. This is the key moment, jumping from here with a crouch jump. Again, this is another like snaking in between here, and this is a bigger gap than in the lower area, but really you also want to not run on this either. You want to get all the way over. But I bounced on the Koopa, and that ended up losing me a bit of time because then I rubbed into this wall here. For these notes, notice I missed some of them, and you maybe are like unsatisfied by that. But really, for these notes, your goal is to get over, collect this note, and then collect the notes on the way back. Not collect all the notes as you run left, and then go back to the moon. This is because leaving a note or 2 for collection later actually means that the camera pan for this moon spawn is a lot shorter. And that will save you a little bit of time. Even though I was standing still for like a fraction of a second here, just wait patiently for the moon to spawn, and the smaller camera pan will be really nice. Okay. Each of these watch-throughs are going to get a little bit shorter with comments from me, because I will have covered more things. So again, pull back here, get some full speed going. This time I bounced on this Koopa. Actually, when I'm coming in to land here, I'm holding B in case I land on the Koopa, but I'm ready to press A also if I don't land on the Koopa and I need to do a normal jump. This time the platform was a little farther along in its cycle, so I didn't land on it here, and I landed down here. Just jump up, it's not a problem. Then, this is really crucial, doing a short crouch jump with coyote time. So coyote time is when you run off the ledge and you have a little bit of time to jump. That's just a thing that happens in games to be a little more forgiving. We abuse it as much as possible here. But doing a short crouch jump off of this area, even with not so much speed, still allows you to get on top of this question mark block, and you avoid this Koopa, which is just really nice. Then I have a decent amount of speed. I'll do a full jump. I'll have to pull back to the left a little bit before I reach the peak, but then I want to start holding right again to run with full speed on this platform, because it's already moving back left. But then you want to do a short crouch jump. And I bumped on the pipe here, which is actually helpful because it means I don't overshoot. If you don't bump on the pipe, you have to hold left a lot so that you land close to the center of this pipe. Okay. That part is all the same. Now we're going to watch this again. This time, the platform's in a little bit of a different place, and so I'm able to grab this leftmost note and then still run over to the right, and the platform is just in the perfect spot where I can bonk my head, collect this last note that I need, and then just run off the edge here, which is just really fast. You have all this speed, and you land right in a place where you can jump again without bonking onto this wall here. Unfortunately, I bounced on this Koopa and lost a little bit of my speed, but no problem. Doing a small crouch jump here is nice, if you can. I missed it there, but when you land on this platform, do a short crouch jump. You can usually get to the moon if you have a decent amount of speed. For this final part, you should crouch jump through here, because when you crouch jump, you can jump a little earlier without bonking your head here. And you have to pull back a little bit to the left. And here I bonked my foot here, but sometimes you can slip through with a lot of speed. That's a very minor thing. Okay, also I do this strat for the rocket flower, and I messed it up here. I'll do it right later, and I'll talk about it then. I actually got the single ground pound pipe suck here, which is just random. It depends on if the waves, if the water level was high or low right when you got to this pipe. It has to be really low, and it's a pretty rare chance. But you know, sometimes you'll just go in one ground pound, which is really fast, but not something you can count on to happen. Okay, same stuff. This time I didn't land on the Koopa, but I'm ready to jump. I take 2 jumps to get these 2 blocks. This is a very textbook attempt so far. I'm able to do a crouch jump, get over to this question mark block, and then the platform cycle is nice enough, and I have enough speed that I don't even have to crouch jump here. I can just do a normal jump. Okay, this time I'm able to get a crouch jump off of the platform to collect that final note that I need. And then I start running left down here again, and I'll try and crouch jump around here. And if you can maintain your speed, that is fantastic. And then, again, we see this nice, very short camera pan right now. Okay, here's where I did this strat somewhat right. It's kind of hard to do with gray moons, but yeah, Cappy can come back. You do the first roll boost with a button press, whichever button you're not using to hold Cappy out, and then just shake for the second one, and that'll make Cappy come back. All standard stuff. That time I lost my speed on the pipe. Platform cycle's pretty far ahead, so maybe I'm a little worried. Oh, I should mention, when entering this pipe, ideally this platform over here is just starting to move to the right. If it just got there, that's also fine too. It gives you a little bit of leniency. But this is actually kind of the ideal platform cycle, because even though it's really scary to make it over here, you can still make it, even from such a far distance. Because again, I'm doing this crouch jump off of this. Oh no, I didn't even do it here. I just bounced on the Koopa. I think I just accidentally missed the press, but then I noticed, oh, I'm bouncing on a Koopa. Again, I'm using this strat where I'm holding B if there's a Koopa here, but getting ready to press A if I don't land on him. And because I have all this running speed, even though it doesn't look like Mario's moving that fast, once I leave the platform with a crouch jump, he'll have a lot more speed to the right. So you can see that in full speed. And you can just barely sneak on in. Now, this is actually, in my opinion, like the best platform cycle. Well, I guess it's a little bit far ahead. We'll see how it turns out here. Okay, yeah, so it was a little far ahead, so I couldn't quite collect this note. But that's going to be fine, because since the platform's farther along, I can easily collect this note, run back, and jump from here to get this music note. And again, this crouch jump is useful, because it lets me get over to here. I think if you did a normal jump, you would land here, and if you just ran off, there's a chance you make it here, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Then an important thing I do here, if I had to jump up here, then I typically try to get into this little corner here so I can run left with full speed. I think you're better off doing that than like slowly walking off and awkwardly bouncing on a Koopa, maybe bonking your feet here and you have to jump again, or all this nonsense. Just go over here, gain a little bit of speed, coyote time, crouch jump here. The crouch jump is important because it means you don't bonk your head. And then, yeah, I like to do a crouch jump from this spot to get right to where the moon is with a really short camera pan. Okay, now I'm gonna go like rapid fire through a bunch of like little things that I haven't already mentioned. So this was the fast Koopa hit strat that I was talking about earlier. Again, this is fairly risky because if you jump a little bit late, you take damage. If you jump a little bit early, you're just slower than if you had not tried it at all. But something to note is if you're really worried that the platform cycle is really far ahead, then you can go for this strat, save a little bit of time, because time freezes when you take damage, so the platform isn't moving during that time, so it's maybe a better risk to take, but really, I would just recommend not even going for this. But it's good to know it's a possible thing that can happen. Okay, this I almost didn't even want to show, but if you're too far right on the pipe, you won't enter it. This is just something with 2D Mario games. You have to be mostly towards the center. So all that said, when you jump off of this platform with a lot of speed to the right, you need to pull back left a lot before entering the pipe. Oh, this is just, this is showing if you only had this block that you can still make it. It's just so sketchy. You have to, I like to, if I have to do it, I mean, I'm always trying to do this because whether I have both blocks or not, I want to get as much rightward speed as I can going into this next section. So you kind of bonk into the wall to reset all your speed and then start holding right. But if you're a little bit early, you bonk your head here, and if you're a little bit late, you don't make it on here. If this block is gone, and you only have like this one or these two, then don't try this. Make sure you're safe and don't fall down. The falling down is the absolute worst thing you can do. Oh, this is just another example of this notes. And in this case, this is like the perfect platform cycle. And I honestly could just run to the right and then start running left, and the platform would carry me into this last note that I need. And then I could run off to the left, but it also works to just do a crouch jump here, and then do this. And it was still very fast. And again, collecting that third note from the left here on the way back actually saves me a little bit of time for camera pan. That camera pan right there. Also, you've probably noticed the movement that I try and do after this moon. If I'm close to the edge, I'll just run off and jump. If I'm deep in here when I do it, I'll try and do a crouch jump over to here and a crouch jump again. But, yeah, that's not the most important part. And there you see I snaked through this section really well. I barely lost any speed. I didn't bonk my foot or my head. Okay, and then finally I want to talk about, well, not finally, there's two more things. But doing this Koopa bounce, a lot of people don't know how it works. It's not random. You just have to land directly on the middle of this hitbox with the middle of Mario's hitbox. Because this hitbox is actually round, like the shape of the shell. So you want to land on the topmost part of it. So it can be good to do a short jump right when the shell hits here. That can kind of work as some timing. You're not going to get it every time, but if you miss the platform cycle, you may as well try this. Usually you have time to try it once. But like that one was definitely, I was too far left on the shell. Which is why I didn't quite get the height. That one is good. That one, I think I was actually too far right. But this platform, when it's here, will push you up a little bit as you pass through it. So I think that would have been a fail normally. That one I was too far left again, I believe. But yeah, it can be consistent if you practice it. It also works if the Koopa is not hiding in its shell yet. And it's arguably a little easier, but you still want to land right on the center of the shell. Okay, and then last thing is, instead of that other strat I was doing, you can do an up throw roll cancel when you're about here at the base of this hill, and that will get you the rocket flower like this. So maybe you find this strat a little bit nicer. That's all I have. This thing is pretty long, so yeah, there's you got to play through this a lot to really get all the nuances, but I tried to be as thorough as I could. Sorry if this was a little disorganized, but this is an interesting, it's one of my favorite areas in the run, and very satisfying to do fast. So